Hello, my true crime lovers, and happy Halloween. If you have been watching my channel, you know that all October long we have been going over nothing but Halloween topics, from true crime stories, scary stories, and the true stories behind our favorite movies. So, if you're new here, make sure to check out my 31 Nights of Halloween playlist. But first, make sure to help your girl out by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. So you would think that on Halloween there would be a lot of true crime stories to tell, but in actuality, there really isn't as many as you would think. Today we'll be going back to 2010 to an Halloween massacre. Halloween is sometimes a holiday for pranks. So, it made sense that on Sunday, October 31st, 2010, when 16-year-old Devin Griffin made a horrifying discovery at his home in Oak Harbor, Ohio, he initially thought he'd been victim of a joke. But Devin quickly realized that what he came home to wasn't a joke. Devin had walked into his mother and stepfather's room to let them know he was home after staying the night at his father's house the previous night. That's when he found his mother and stepfather had been unlived. He then would run out the house and call the police. Once police arrived, they would then find Devin's older brother, 23-year-old Derek, in his bedroom, and he had also been unlived. Detectives said that this was the most horrifying crime scene that they have ever seen in their careers. At this point, detectives started to try to figure out when this devastating crime took place, so they started going over the family's timeline. The previous day, which was October 30th, the stepfather Bill and his oldest son William would spend all day hunting, and when they returned home, the whole family would go next door to their neighbor's home for a Halloween party, and everyone left around 12 p.m., which would bring us to Halloween morning, when Derek arrived home and found his mother Susan and stepfather Bill unalive. So what happened between 12 p.m. and the time before Devin came home? This is what the detectives had to figure out. Detectives believed that there was two different weapons used in this crime, a blunt object like a hammer and a gun. Detectives believed Derek was the first victim and that he was beaten with a hammer. They believed that the person who did this hit him with a hammer first to make sure he didn't make any noise and wake up the rest of the house. Whoever did this then moved on to Bill and Susan's room and unlived them with a gun. Whoever did this took their time and made sure that they collected all of the shell casings afterwards, because none were found. Detectives also noticed that there was no sign of forced entry or a robbery. So whoever did this had to be in the home or have a key to the home. A neighbor told investigators that she'd heard banging, which may have been gunshots. Around 6:30 a.m. investigators carefully searched the home and property. On a dock near a pond on the sprawling spread, they found a muddy footprint. Police believed that the killer may have walked to the end of the dock and tossed the murder weapons into the water. The pond was drained, but no weapons were found. Who would slaughter 3 family members? Someone who knew the family? A stranger? Cult members stirred up by Halloween? Nobody could imagine would do such a horrendous thing. Detectives started questioning Devin, but they were able to clear him as a suspect. Devin would say that he saw his oldest stepbrother William in the driveway when he first got home, and he was loading something into his dad's truck. Now at this point, William was nowhere to be found, and during their search for him, they quickly found out that William and his stepmother Susan did not have a good relationship and that it had gotten physical between the two. William was described as a troubled person who was dealing with some obvious mental illness, according to detectives. He had a history of turning combative and violent, and drinking alcohol could exacerbate these behaviors. Things had gotten so out of hand that William wasn't allowed to live in his father's house. Detectives finally tracked William down. He was hiding out at the family's hunting cabin in Carroll County. They also searched the property when they found a .22 caliber rifle in his father's truck. They also found blood in the truck as well. Once they searched the home, they found a bloody hammer in a closet. When the DNA came back, it was a match to his stepmother Susan, father Bill, and stepbrother Derek. William Lisk was charged with murder and was sentenced to 3 life sentences without parole. In 2015, he passed away from taking his own life, and there was never a real answer to why he committed these horrible crimes. It was speculated that he had schizophrenia, but that was never proven, as far as I'm aware. So, how do you feel about this case? Do you think it could have been prevented by having put on medication or having him diagnosed? Or do you think he just had that much hate in his heart and would have done it either way? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching 31 Nights of Halloween. And I hope you have a very spooky, happy Halloween.